Okay, so this is Module 5. So Module 5 is an analysis of the financial statements, so ratio analysis and benchmarking cooperative performance. And in this module, there's certain key things that you need to have an understanding of in terms of, first, you have to identify who the users are of the financial statements, what the purpose of the statements are, looking at various forms of analysis of financial statements, evaluating the operating performance of the company, and then looking at comparing your cooperative, both from a financial and non-financial perspective, to other cooperatives or to industry standards. So while your cooperative's performance, for example, may have improved year over year, it might look good if you look at 5 years of operations for your own cooperative, but if compared to similar cooperatives in the same industry sector, you're nowhere near their performance, then that could be a problem. So it's always helpful to not only look at yourself over a period of time at your own cooperative, but it's very important to actually look at how you're performing relative to the industry benchmark. And that can often help the organization set its goals to be closer to the industry benchmark, for example. And of course, this is another area where you'll be using the material covered in this chapter. You'll be heavily relying on this material when you're doing your group project. And so in terms of the actual ratios, so there's standard ratios that are used to evaluate every business enterprise. And these will be used in this course. And while it's important to examine the trends, they're extremely important. So when you're looking at trends, typically you want to look at a 3 to 5 year period. Just 2 years is not quite enough. 3, 4, 5 years is always helpful. That way you can see if they're improving or if they're deteriorating over time in terms of your own performance compared to yourself. Basically, that's what we're talking about when we say trend analysis. And of course, in addition to trend analysis, you do want to compare your performance to your peers. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of benchmarks that are cooperative specific. So frequently what you find is cooperatives are comparing to other cooperatives. So you might find a credit union will compare to the banks, for example, which may or may not be appropriate. So it's something that I think as an industry, cooperatives do need to start developing their own industry benchmarks. So that concludes the overview of Module 5.